Hello, good evening. Welcome to tonight's Simpler Futures free market update. Here, this is Wednesday, so this will be for trade date. Tomorrow will be March 3rd, Thursday. All right, if you remember at the beginning of the week, I did the video for the kind of kick off the week, and we were looking at basically looking to try to hold about 4,300 as, call it, over under. However, it wasn't perfect, right? We wanted, it was a little below. I was looking at like that 85.90, that kind of thing, just below it. And we were talking about trying to target this thing up towards 4,500 on the idea that we've got a lot of news this week. I mean, there's a lot going on. We had Feds Bullard and Powell today, ADP numbers today. We got Feds Powell again tomorrow, and then non-farm payroll on Friday. And, Fed Chair Powell spoke today and sort of eased the market with commentary about the fact that we're looking at the quarter point 25 basis rate adjustment for March. Market seemed to receive that, pretty nicely. So I'm going to stand on what we've discussed and continue to try to view this in a bullish manner, continuing to try to target the 4,500 area. In fact, I've got like SPX call butterflies on for end of week up around 4,500. Don't know if they'll work or not, of course, but I put those orders in Sunday night to fill Monday, and of course with the news Sunday night and the low open Monday, they filled rather inexpensively, 10 wide up there for like 20 cents, so they're super cheap. Here's the other thing too about this low down here at 4,100 on that news. It was very, very, very thinly traded. It's what we call an excess low. There was not a lot of trade that went off down there at the lows. So we would not term that a weak or poor structure, but yet an excess low, very similar to this one back on Jan 24. And it took a month for this thing to roll over and come revisit that Jan 24. It was trade date was like Feb 23 or 4 when 23rd, I guess, or something when this came in, retesting the Jan 24 low. So that took a month to come back. It's the same thing down here. It's an excess low. I'd look for that to be in for a while. And whether we get it right or wrong, we'll find out. But here's the update from here going, because what this is so far is kind of recap as to what we've been discussing and reasons why. That's important. I'm rehashing the reasons why so that we have a plan behind what it is we're trying to do. And here's the update going forward. I would right here. Yeah. Nope, not that one. This one, this screen. All right. So here's what I'm doing. I'm now going from yesterday's low, which that's good, right? I mean, we're talking 42, like 85.90. Look at the low, 42.80, so that's pretty good. And I'm going from there to today's high, which was 100 points in short order, right? And I'm looking at a couple of things here. A 382 retrace puts it back at 43.50, 53.50. I'm gonna call it 50. Ending VWAP today, full session VWAP, not RTH VWAP, but full session VWAP has it back here at about the same, about 43.50. And then full session mid going and including yesterday all through today is back here at 43.40. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say current trade right now is in this 43.80 area, 20 points, 20 handles off the high today, which was a 100-point move from lows yesterday. I want to see this thing hold now, new level, marking up the trailing support that we're going to ask this thing to hold. I'm going to ask this thing to hold now, 43.50 tonight and tomorrow, but, I guess tomorrow. And we don't give that very much room now. I mean, it's 43.50. We're talking like, what's it get? I mean, back here we needed about 5 points. I guess here maybe we need 5 points, but I'm calling it 43.50. Maybe it needs a couple of points wiggle, and it's bullish as long as it's doing that, right? I mean, it's higher lows, so that'd be bullish. And I want to continue to try to target this thing up into 4,500. We'll see. But like I say, I put those orders in Sunday night. They filled first thing Monday. 43 or 4,500 call flies SPX for Friday's, trade date. And we got more than enough between now and then that can see fit to make that kind of range a reality. Between Powell tomorrow and, the earnings that are on tap to go along with that, and the payroll report on Friday. Remind you too, listen, if some crazy news cycle breaks, I can't do anything about that. I mean, that's not scheduled, that's not known, that can happen. If it does, and this thing, the market just breaks wildly out of nowhere, nothing I can do about that. But absent some shock event like that, then I'll remind you that historically trade is higher into the payroll report, and it's often led by a Thursday trade into that Friday report, which means that for that reason I would also anticipate bullish tomorrow. You got the line in the sand and you got the bullish target, and with that, I hope this helps and that you have good trade. And I look forward to being with you again at the next update. Till then, take care.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency.
It's one of the things that won me